Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe. No one is getting any issues with COVID. Look like our numbers are getting better. The last I saw that the COVID cases are going down. So that's good news. So let's just hope that there's not another variant that comes up. With that being said, as we know, a lot of countries are starting to open their borders and allow foreigners to go in. And from what I'm hearing, there are some foreigners that are doing some travel. Now, with us being locked down or basically not being able to go outside the country because, as you know, there's been so many restrictions, a lot of places were locked down, and a lot of us are just ready to get out, you see. Um, and I think I've said before, let's not get out and go to these places and carry the same attitude, because carrying the same attitude is going to get you the same result. So that's where I want to go today, because I want to talk about having the courage to change courses. You know, it's been said that when people know better, they do better. But sometimes I ask myself, is that true? You know, there's a difference between knowing and doing. And from what I've seen, people don't like to change. And I've often asked myself, why is it impossible to get people to unlearn something that's so appealing to them? Why is it hard to get them to unlearn something that's destructive? So we tend to want to stay on the same pattern even if the behavior is self-destructive. So it's like, guys go over to these countries and they know not to give money to these girls, or basically, should I say, all their money, because a lot of guys go broke. But they do it anyway. So it's like you have to look at yourself and say, hey, I know not to give away all my money. I know to plan a budget. I know when a person is using me. I know it's not my responsibility to support others. If we know these things, why do we keep doing it? So you see, just because we know, we don't always do. And here's where courage comes in. You have to have the courage to change your past behavior if you want a new result. A lot of our leaders, if we look at leaders like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, they had the courage to change courses. They saw something that didn't look right, and they took it upon themselves to say, I want to take this in a different direction. When you want to take something in a different direction, those directions can often have some severe consequences. Look at King, he got shot. Mandela went to jail. But the courage they had changed the course of all of our lives. I mean, everybody. In some shape, form, or fashion, those two men shaped the way we live today. So they had the courage to change courses, even if it cost them their life. And this is what I want guys to understand. When you see a pretty face and a nice body, you have to have courage to say no. You, you look at this and say, yes, I like it, it looks good, but I'm not going to give away all my money, sacrifice my safety and health for the sake of trying to help someone that won't appreciate it. So we have to be careful in doing that. We have to have courage to stop our past behavior and come into something new. You know, changing courses requires humility. You have to be humble enough and put your ego aside and admit you're wrong. Admit that you made a mistake. Admit that you ignored the warning signs. Until you are able to humble yourself and look at yourself, you will continue to go down the same path that you've gone before. So, until you can correct your past decisions, you'll never have the life that you want. You'll be constantly giving, buying, simping, and all of that doesn't bring change. Because if that was the key to everything, a lot of men wouldn't have a problem. They'll have the woman that they want. But those things don't work. The more you simp, the more you give, the more the girl is going to take. Because you're coming up, you're getting with a girl that basically has nothing. So she's with you with what you have to offer because she wants to better her life. And in the attempt to better her life, she's not thinking in a humble way, looking at you as if she's going to say, this man has been good to me, I appreciate everything he's done, I'm going to try to offer something back to the relationship. Even if it's only myself, I'm going to give him my time, my attention, because that's all I have. So instead of her doing that, her concern is taking what you have and giving it to her family. And until you're able to recognize what you're doing and humble yourself, you're going to always continue to go down this course and end up on the losing end of the stick. But being on the losing end of the stick, a lot of guys think they're doing well. Because that's a trick of the mind. The mind makes them believe that they're living the fantasy that they want. And I know a lot of you hear these guys go to countries and they come back. They go to the Philippines and they come back and they talk about all the things they've done. They're the man. The girls like them. But that's in their head. It's not the reality of it. The reality of it is the girl is giving you all this attention because her position is you have something in your pocket and she wants it. So she's going to make you feel like the king, the man, until she get what she wants. And if you don't give her what she wants, she's going to fight with you. She's going to ignore you. She's going to look for someone else. And she's basically going to let you know that you're disposable. So these guys, they go on and they live stuck in that fantasy. They laugh in that fantasy. And they stay loyal to a situation that is a dead end. And it's simply because they don't have the courage to change. To have courage, like I said before, it takes humility to have courage. You have to have the courage to recognize that no matter how much money you give those girls, or house that you buy or the fancy gifts that you give them is never going to be enough, and they're going to drain you. And once you're drained, they're going to move on. You have to be able to be strong enough just to say no. And I know that sounds kind of Reaganish, I guess I must say, because she said that about the whole drug thing. But I'm thinking of a gentleman I met, and I noticed how he would always just say no. No. The girls would tell him how much they want. He would say, no, here's how much I give you. And he stuck to it. If they didn't agree, he said, okay, I'll talk to you later, bye, and find someone else. Just that simple. He was no holds barred. I remember sitting right next to him, and he was talking to a girl. It was a phone call. And they were talking about meeting up. He wanted to pay her one price. She wanted a higher price. He just said no. Stop the conversation. Okay? And what ended up happening, she agreed to bring a friend if he would give her the amount she wanted. So basically, he got two for the price of one. See, this is what happens when you have courage to stand by your beliefs. This is what happens when you have courage not to let someone with nothing control a situation. Because keep in mind, if she don't get what's in your pocket, she don't eat. If she don't get what's in your pocket, she got to go out and find someone that will give her that. Or maybe take a different offer, or like this girl did with the guy that I know, she offered him even a better situation. So the thing I'm trying to get guys to understand, until you have the courage to change, you're going to live in the prison of your own problems. You're going to go from girl to girl, and one day wake up and realize everything I worked for is gone. And I really don't want to see that happen to anyone. And this is why having the courage to change, to realize what it is that you want in life, is very important. On a more personal note, I've had to come to realize that these girls and their self-destructive way of thinking lead you nowhere. Their self-destructive way of thinking doesn't benefit anyone, not even them. Because if I met someone that liked me and that was helping me, I'm going to do what I can to make this situation work, instead of trying to use them or milk them for what they have until I find someone else. So with that being said, and not to make this too long, let's just say, have the courage to change. Have the courage to say no. And have the courage to have a better you. Because you don't owe them anything. If they don't like what you have to offer, that's their problem. It's not yours. So everybody take care. Stay safe from COVID. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you feel anyone can benefit from anything, please feel free to share the video with them. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.